Hello. So here we are to discuss or to analyze the paper business economics, because before we start to read the different chapters of economics and before we try to solve the MCQs or before we sit to learn this paper, it's always better to know the language from a bird's eye view. Once you know, okay, these are the 10 chapters and this is the weightage for every chapter that is being allocated by C Institute, then it will become very easier for us to plan accordingly. Okay, like what is the importance that we have to give for this chapter, or you have to do a SWOT analysis. What is a SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis is an analysis where you find basically what is your strength and what is your weakness. If you just see all the 10 chapters and if you find what are the most comfortable topics for you, for example, we have 10 topics here. Point number 1, that is the topic number 1 is Introduction to Business Economics. It is a very simple and a very humble introduction chapter. Okay, it only has some certain definitions and who gave those definitions, and they are saying that there are two economics, one is microeconomics and the other one is macroeconomics. Okay, they give a very humble beginning, and in chapter number 1 we also have what is socialism, capitalism and mixed economy. Only this will give you 5 marks, which means even if you cannot understand the graphical representation or you're not comfortable with demand curve and all those things, you can still score this 5 marks because it is pretty much the basic. So the strategy, like for example, when you go for a examination or when you prepare for a paper, always preparation strategy is very much important. You should know which chapter carries what weightage. So this will give you to plan ahead of your exams or plan ahead of your preparation, or what kind of strategy are you going to take. For example, when you know that you are very comfortable in microeconomics, for example, in demand and supply you are very comfortable, but when it comes to this macroeconomics, no, I'm not comfortable at all. And that too, when they're talking about this money market and all, I'm not comfortable. Then you can decide, okay, these 2 chapters are not my cup of tea, so I will make sure that except these 2 chapters, all the other chapters I'll cover, and I will cover only the book back questions, MCQs of these 2, 8 and 9. See, like this you can make a strategy. And without a strategy, if you go to an examination, it will be like it will be a total chaos. Okay, because with proper strategy you can attend the exam with so much of confidence, and also knowing what is going to happen in the examination or knowing what is the weightage that's going to be allotted to each and every paper is a great strength to us. Because today in 2024, CA Institute is giving you some weightage. No, from this chapter we are going to ask these many questions, from this chapter we are going to give you this many marks. This is being given by CA Institute to you, so we are supposed to be very happy about it, because like a decade ago it was not at all there. They would just say 50 marks for the whole paper, and back in the day we had only the first 4 chapters and the mark was allotted for 50 marks. So 50 marks 4 chapters, and we have to based on the previous year students experience or the way in which we perceive the paper, we go to the examination hall without any prior strategy for us. We have to complete the entire portion. If we leave one chapter, sometimes question might be asked only from that chapter for 5 to 10 marks, and it might be a total chaos. But today it is not like that. Totally 10 chapters. If you just allot 10 marks for each and every chapter, you're going to get 10 chapters into 10 marks, 100 marks. But here there are 2 chapters which are pretty much very sultry chapter. That is chapter number 1, which is Introduction to Business Economics, where they're just talking about the socialism, capitalism and microeconomics, macroeconomics. That's all. So for that they're giving 5 marks. Imagine, out of 100 marks you can get 5 marks by just reading the introduction chapter, and the other 5 marks comes from the business cycle. What is a business cycle? Business cycle is when you all the conventional society will definitely go through this business cycle. Initially there will be a recovery. Okay, they'll go to a peak and then they will slow down and then they will reach a trough. So this is how, for example, there are certain periods. For example, in India they say from 1965 to 1981 is the worst post independence period is recorded in the history, because the growth was not at all there. and economy was slowing down. So when economy slows down, it is called as recession. So the entire business cycle revolves around, that chapter revolves around these 4 conditions. And here and there some important points. With that you'll get 5 marks, which means by just covering first chapter in business cycle, 5th chapter, you are very sure to get 5 plus 5, 10 marks. Okay, and then you have like 2 chapters which has been given a weightage of 15 marks. What are those? We'll see. Price determination in different markets. Here they'll be talking about perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic, oligopoly. Okay, in this chapter you have a possibility for getting 15 marks, and they have also told you here, they've also mentioned that in examination plus or minus 5% here and there might happen. So who knows, in your examination, if you finish this only one chapter, you might be ending up with 20 marks also, or minimum you will get 15 marks. And then what is the other chapter where we have this 15 marks? Can we see where is that other chapter? 5th one, national income. So in national income, there are basically 2 chapters, and of course this is a very big chapter, so they are offering you 15 marks. Just imagine if you finish chapter number 5, okay, and chapter number 4, and of course chapter number 3 is very pretty much very comfortable, or at least if you're not comfortable with 3 also, if you finish 2, what will happen? For second chapter you get 10 marks, for the first chapter you got 5 marks, in business cycle you've got 5 marks, and the national income you're going to get 15 marks. So it depends, how are you going to prepare for this paper? How much importance are you going to give? For example, there are 10 chapters. For 4 chapters, any chapters you select on your own accord, okay? You can select any 4 chapters. And when you cover any 4 chapters, it should give you 40% coverage. 40% mark should come from those 4 chapters. Make sure you read it in full from A to Z, from every possible question. And when we're talking about these 4 chapters, you have to make sure that in the book, from the full topic, full chapter, okay, from the starting page to the ending page, you have to finish it like it should be. You should know these 4 chapters like the back of your hand. If you could do that, you can be rest assured that you will be able to attend the 40 questions without any problem. And then when it comes to the balance 6 chapters, make sure you give some 70% concentration. For example, you did not read the last the 2 chapters that you've chosen now, like the 4 chapters you have started in the front portion. So in the forefront, you chose 4 chapters, and those 4 chapters you know like the back of your hand, you know like thoroughly. But the next 2 chapters you're going to pick, you like it, but you're not comfortable with it too much, or you're not comfortable with it 100%. So what you do is, you just give it a read, and then you solve all the book back questions, you try all the mock test papers, or you try all the multiple choice questions possible. And then you are with the confidence level where if 10 questions are asked, at least 6 questions I'll be able to answer. So in that variation, you have to finish 2 chapters, and the balance 4 chapters, just give it a read, give the book back questions a read, and do your best. So now what will happen? 40 marks is sure. And out of these, in these 2 chapters, you might get, the questions might be coming to around 20 marks. At least you should get 10 marks. Do you understand? And from the balance 4 chapters, you're going to get 40 questions. Okay. And from this 40 questions, you should be able to get at least 10. So if you get it right, obviously you'll end up with 60 marks. This is what is the basic strategy with which you have to approach a paper. Because when time is a very limited constraint, and you're preparing all the 4 papers, and when it comes to the 4th paper, and that too especially when it is MCQ, okay, when you're nearing to the examination, okay, when the exam date is nearing, obviously we will be feeling, we will just face a feeling, or we will be confronted with the fear that maybe we have not prepared for the exam well, maybe we will write the exam next time, or maybe our preparation is not up to the mark, maybe I have only completed 2 to 3 chapters, with this will I be able to pass? All these questions are popping up only because you did not know what is a strategy to approach the examination. But now, since you know there are 10 chapters, and all the 10 chapters by name you should know. Okay, 6th chapter is this, 5th chapter is this, 4th chapter is this. By name you should know. Once you know it, and you know that 15 marks is being allotted to what is that, fourth and fifth chapter alone, try and give your best to complete these two chapters. You'll get 30 marks. And first chapter in business cycle you finish 10 marks. What will happen now? 40 marks is with you. So this you can finish this, that is fourth chapter and fifth chapter in business cycle and first chapter. Okay, these four chapters you can finish within 1 month, I tell you. Within a month, I'm telling you the maximum time that will take. I'm telling you. But if you're very comfortable, because these are all +2 portions and +1 portions only, if you're already comfortable with the topics, then definitely you will be able to finish these 4 chapters within a span of 15 days. Now what will happen? You will gain some confidence. Yes, even with this I can go to the examination. Even by just finishing these 4 chapters, I can go and face the examination. That kind of confidence you will get. Once you get the confidence, you will have the energy within you to proceed with yet another chapter. Probably that chapter might be the second chapter, which is demand and supply, which is somewhat comfortable to you because you've read in your 12th standard. So you go and read through it. So once you finish this chapter, you gain your confidence more, because now you are prepped up with 50 marks, which means when you know what you're doing, your confidence level automatically goes on increasing. And now I'm going to tell you yet another thing that has to be borne in your mind. You have to borne that in your mind. You have to bear that in your mind. Do you know what that is? In examination, make sure you finish thoroughly. You thoroughly prepare. You thoroughly prepare 4 chapters. I'm telling you, for 40 marks, you should be thorough. Okay. And then you've done your best. Okay. It's like out of next 2 chapters, for 4 chapters, this is the 4 chapters, or I'm saying 40 marks, you should be thorough. And the next ceiling, see, this is your best category. And this is your medium category, where you're preparing 2 chapters, and out of 20 marks, you should be able to you should be able to take 10%. That's enough. 10 marks. That's enough. And then there is a category, best, medium and normal. Normal category, where you are left with how many chapters? 4 more chapters. And from that, pick 2 chapters. Okay. And the last 2 chapters, keep it before the examination, or keep it like 1 week before examination, or whenever you get time, make time for those chapters. Look at the book back questions and do your best. Okay. So that from these 20 marks, at least you should be able to get 5 marks. And here, from this 20 marks, you should be able to get 10 marks. This is how your preparation should be. Okay, or at least 5 marks you should get here. This is the preparation. This preparation you can do it within a month. It doesn't need a long preparation time. Why am I telling you this? Because this is the preparation strategy for, first of all, passing the examination, facing the examination, confronting the examination. You can't just walk away from the examination because of mounting pressure or mounting fear about how to handle examination. Do you understand? So here we are rest assured with 40 marks, 10 marks, and here we have 5 marks, and here we have 5 marks. And this is, I'm telling you, this is the worst situation. 40 plus 10, 50, 50 plus 10, 60 marks. You should be rest assured with. Now I'll tell you what, once you get the question paper and you're able to spot out 60 questions where you know this is the correct answer, there is no other way, there is something else. This is the correct answer and I know it on the spot. So first spot those 60 questions and write answers to it and mark the answers in your OMR sheet. Now 60 questions is by your side. Okay. Now what you're going to do? You are going to borrow 5 marks from your 100% correct answers. You're going to borrow 5 marks from that. Now 5 marks into 4 will give you 20. What is this 5 into 4? For every 1 mark that you score in your examination, okay, you can answer 4 questions. You can answer 4 questions. For example, there are totally how many questions do you have? You have 100 questions. So out of this 100 questions, 60 questions you should know this is the answer. So you have marked 60 questions. Balance, how many questions are left over? Balance questions left over is only 40 questions. Now what are you going to do? Out of those 40 questions, I'm telling you, you might not be sure this is the answer. This is the answer. I can tell the answer spot on. This is the answer. Might be you're not able to go with that level of confidence. But I'm sure because of your preparation and because of the strategy that we are following, definitely you might have a doubt. This must be the right answer, but I'm not so sure. Like this, you might spot out 20 questions where you kind of think you know the answer, but you're not very much sure about it. So you got to pick the 20 questions out of 40 questions remaining. Now, what are you going to do? This 20 questions that you're going to mark, even if all the 20 questions are wrong, what is that you're going to lose? From the 60 marks you have already garnered, you're going to lose only 5 marks. So your final mark will be 55. So what is your worst come scenario mark? 55. So you're going to pass, no problem. For CA Foundation, what is the most important thing? You have to pass, that's all. So here, since you're borrowing the 5 marks, and for every 1 mark that you have earned, you can answer 4 wrong answers, no problem. 4 questions you take and imagine this is all wrong, no problem. Okay, you're only going to lose 5 marks. But imagine we are not that non-sensible to answer all the 20 questions in a wrong manner, right? Out of the 20 questions, at least some 7 questions might be correct, no? Because of some sheer luck, or because of your, because of your preparation, and you're attending 20 questions. Out of 20 questions, can't you get some 6 or 7 questions right? If you are able to get even 5 questions right out of 20 questions that you are attending, even if you're able to get only 5 questions right, imagine what will be your total score. Your total score would be, only for 15 questions, negative marks will be taken, which means you will lose 4 marks from your garnered 60 marks. So now your mark will be 56, plus the 5 marks that you have secured in your examination by choosing the best of your choice. Okay, so here you get plus 5. So your total marks would be 61. I'm telling you, this is the normal scenario. And in certain scenario, it may so happen that you were able to spot out, okay, you will be able to spot out, you got 60 marks and you're taking 5 marks for risk, and you can attend 20 questions. If at all you were able to attend 20 questions and you scored 10 marks out of this, 10 questions got correct answers and 10 questions got wrong answers, what would be the result? Now your total marks would be, your loss is how much? Only 10 questions you've got wrong. So your loss is only 2.5 marks. And what is your addition? 10 marks. As a result, you're going to get 72.5. Can you imagine, by taking a risk, by taking a leap of 20 marks and attending with so much of confidence, knowing that even if all the 20 questions are going to go wrong, you will still end up with 55 marks. Do you understand? These kinds of strategies, if you employ in the examination, you will definitely be able to score above 70 positively, and even in the worst situation, you will be given 55 marks, I guarantee, provided you follow my strategy, where for the first 4 chapters that you choose according to your own decision, those 4 chapters should be completed A to Z, and any question from that you should be able to answer no matter what, and there is no choice given to you there. If you do any mistake in the strategy that I've given to you, then everything is going to get collapsed, because this is the easiest way possible for us to get 70 plus. Okay, and minimum we can get 55 marks. So you have to make sure, first go to the examination, spot out that 60 clear-cut answers that you know, and everything else is a game of play for you. Thank you so much. I hope you find this session an eye-opener, or it's a starting point where you can make your preparation in a better way. I hope and wish you all the best for your preparations. Thank you so much. If you have any doubt, please contact Hari Academy. Thank you so much. Also, please, you can write to me at priyag.econ@gmail.com if you have any doubts regarding the paper, or if you have any understanding issues, or if you have any problem, like out of these 10 chapters, which are the chapters I should choose, and what is the metric that I should follow, how to choose 4 chapters according to my strength and weakness. If you have any doubts regarding that, you can always call the academy or you can write to me at my mail ID. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.